good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Maximum World Order. I am David Gillum. You may have heard my voice other places, but this is ours. This is yours. This is Maximum World Order. And I'm joined today by the man behind RA Era Podcast, my brother from another mother, David Burnham.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We're covering all bases there, Dave. Yeah, just cover everything. Evening, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
That's it. Well, we'll do that in December. You know, Melikiliki Maka and all that stuff. But this is Maximum World Order.
Episode 1.
It is.
Episode
Maximum
1.
World Order, Maximum Wrestling Order. This podcast covers everything.
Let's not get too carried away covering everything. I don't know if I'm quite ready to watch any like that Japan stuff yet. I'm just about getting.
That's right, you don't.
Just about getting back into watching modern day WWE. For those that might not know me, or if they do know me, I cover Ruthless Aggression. That's my shtick, and I don't really enjoy covering some of that sometimes with the bollocks you have to watch then, not compared to the bollocks that is today. But WWE, Dave, today is it's a very different place. It's a very different place, especially during the current pandemic, everything else that's going on in the world, and with the Thunderdome. It's a very, very different place.
Is it the Thunderdome, or has Michael Barrymore got a job backstage, right? I'd be like, strike it lucky, you know.
It is, of all the names to use to announce to use for a name of an arena, or if that's what they're going with, the Thunderdome. It's like, do you know, if it was 1985, man, I'd be hyped for the Thunderdome. And because it's
I was waiting for Tina Turner to walk out, you know.
And because it's the Thunderdome era, this is what we're going to do on the NWO, is we're going to cover the Thunderdome, the Thunderdome era. So we're going to kick things off covering SummerSlam 2020 that happened this past week. But before we get into that, Dave, bring me up to speed on modern day WWE. What's going on in Raw, SmackDown?
Bring me up to speed.
I've
been struggling for 2 years.
Bring me up to speed. What's the happenings in the world of Vince McMahon's fucking merry men this current day?
Well, let's get started with. Listen, you've just said that you're not. Our era is your stick. I've always known that, and this is where we've kind of always
disagreed.
I wouldn't say disagreed.
Disagreed, I would.
But I would say disagreed. Yeah. Listen, in today's modern era, it took me a long time to understand this, right, and get my head around this. People should stick to what they know and what they like, because the product of today is such a mess. It is such a mess. It's created for the. I believe it's created for casual fans. I believe the hot flavour of the month is who people cheer for. And that's it. I mean, where we've been for the last 2 years, I'm going to say 3 years, we've seen the Women's Revolution.
Come and go.
Which was a success to start with.
To begin with, until they went
through the CWC.
The women's evolution turned into the female version of the Roman Reigns push. It was like, it got a bit too much. But I still believe they should do an Evolution 2. Hell yeah. If they're going to go to Saudi Arabia, my God, they should be doing an Evolution 2.
Yeah, Sheik Mansour, isn't it? You've got to stick an Arab in there, you know what I mean? Let's be politically correct.
What did they call her that used to wrestle in TNA? fucking Raja Singh. What did they call her?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Out with Awesome Cow.
Yeah. She'll do.
Rahisha Rashid or something
That's
like that.
something like that. Yeah, she'll do. Book her, Vince.
Something like that.
For the greatest fucking
That's it.
diva.
Let's get her. Let's get Mustafa Ali, Jinder Mahal.
They can have a reverse.
I mean, let's
A reverse evening gown match. Like the hijab has to stay on.
That's it. Asian World Order.
Headed up by fucking Tajiri and Funaki.
That's it. You've got to have it multicultural. Jinder Mahal, the Indian. We got the Saudi. We got the Iranian. You know what I mean? And I'm big bugging. What's his name? 7 foot tall. What's his name?
Giant Gonzalez.
No, the monstrous.
Oh, Giant
that turned into a Bollywood dancer.
Oh, Great Khali.
That's it. You know what I mean? Have him as a, I don't know, bodyguard, and you've got the perfect Asian World Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you look, it's hard for me to explain to someone where we've been for the last 2 or 3 years in terms of product, because for someone like me, you know, I've been podcasting 4 years, you've been podcasting longer than me. For someone that enjoyed it, you know, from I would say from the start, the birth of NXT, right? I got super stuck into it. I was like, yes, this is amazing.
Are we talking NXT fucking reality TV program? Or NXT like...
No, not that monstrosity. Not that monstrosity.
Because I fucking loved NXT when it originally was on TV.
We're talking the death of FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, and the birth of Tyler Black, Seth Rollins.
Definitely.
Being the first NXT World Champion. WWE had at their hands, it was a wrestling product. Nothing more, nothing less. It was a wrestling product. Not a lot of gimmicks, not a lot of promos, but wrestling. Now, for diehard wrestling fans, that is their bread and butter. And then slowly but surely, and they've done it perfectly, Triple H had his feet under the table, and he was introducing a little bit of entertainment, you know, giving them that little bit of flavour. And it was working. And then, lo and behold, the man with 3 initials slowly creeps into NXT.
Woo-woo!
You know what I mean? To introduce is bit of poison, as he would put it, you know? With a lethal injection. And it's shown for about 3 years. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has lost the fucking plot. Yeah, I mean, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he hasn't had a good, I would say, decade. A decade is a long time.
But he's not had no competition, has he? For a long time, he's not had no competition, and he was always going to get complacent, and it was always going to happen. And it's just been the steady decline. What's not helped, and I think me and a lot of other wrestling fans have said for a long time, is back in the day, even in like the 80s, you had multiple superstars. Early 90s, multiple superstars. Mid-90s, early 2000s, multiple superstars. 2020, is that how many wrestlers in the WWE can you actually class up there as a superstar, as a Bret, Austin, Hulk? Do you know what I mean? That level. And there's nobody. Roman Reigns, Cena when he comes back, Triple H when he comes back. Do you know what I mean? It's probably Drew McIntyre's on his way, but Randy Orton's still there.
I mean, this is I think this is an area where we can agree that. I mean, I would definitely say that the days of WWE creating, like you just said, a superstar have gone, because what you see now,
we're in the wrestling era.
This is it. Yeah, it isn't so much Vince McMahon, but it is like the likes of Triple H and William Regal, who is God. I'm never going to argue anything William Regal does, and I know you won't either.
William Regal is God. That's for sure.
But, you know, when we can look at that, and listen, a lot of time goes into building superstars, as you know. And is there enough time these days to kind of... They've spent the last 6 years trying to build Roman Reigns. I mean, it's a sad thing to watch, because, you know, you want to sit there and you want Kevin Owens, you know what I mean, to be the man. Cesaro, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To be the man.
He's top class.
But you've got Vince McMahon sitting there going, I don't like it when he talks. You know, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that je ne sais quoi.
That's it.
As you will. And you're sitting there as a wrestling fan at home going, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, why? We're sitting here at home screaming and laughing at Cesaro doing his fucking, you know what I mean, that spin when he was with Heyman. And we're going, push this guy to the moon.
Vince doesn't like foreigners. That's what all it comes down to. He's never liked a foreigner. Never liked a foreigner.
No. No. But that's political. People, we're going to get into SummerSlam because we can ramble on about shit like this for hours. And we're not going to do hours.
That is it. So SummerSlam then. August 23rd, 2020, we're at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, which is WWE's current residence for the Thunderdome. Now, the Thunderdome, for me, is a nice upgrade from 5 months inside the Performance Center. That was getting a little bit... You can only do so much with a very small space like the Performance Center. But when WWE announced it was creating the Thunderdome, with thousands of virtual fans logging in at home and having their faces shown in the crowd... You had to wonder how long until something the company didn't want to be seen would make it on air. It'd be like the virtual equivalent of someone coming to a show and bringing an AEW sign. And we didn't have to wait too long, as during the entrance for the Rose Women's title match, a fan screen switched from their face to the text that simply read, Fire Velveteen Dream.
Fire Velveteen Dream.
And that was just the start.
With MJF.
We had
2020.
We had an appearance from Pikachu.
Yes.
And then it got a little bit more weirder as the week went on. As the following night's Monday Night Raw, we had a picture of what people claim was Benoit. We had a KKK member, and we also had an execution. It's going to become very, very soon that this ain't going to be a fan thing no more. And this is just going to be a family of executives and backstage people, and or you're going to have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. So why would you lose that opportunity if you're going to have to pay for it? Or they're just going to scrap it all together and just...
I totally agree with you. For me, I mean, I've got to be honest. I kind of... Well, it was you that introduced me to it when you put that picture up in the feed, and I went, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, when they did the trial run.
And lo and behold, it was Thunderdome. And I was thinking, at first, that's probably the first thing I thought of, is they're opening up their world for people to step into. Are you fucking mad? Are you mad? The world was waiting for this opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know the only thing that let me down? The only thing that let me down was there wasn't some guy in his basement having a wank. I honestly thought that was the first thing we were going to say.
I was waiting for some guy to be giving it to his missus over a washing machine.
I'm telling you. Don't get me wrong.
I'm still waiting for it.
The concept in this era, don't get me wrong, right? The concept in this COVID pandemic era where fans can't attend and stuff is brilliant on paper, right? But then you have to think about it. Like you just said, you're allowing an outsider in, and you're allowing him to control what appears on your TV. when he brings a fine, when a fan brings a sign, the security will take it down straight away if Vince doesn't like, Kevin Dunn doesn't like it, etc., etc. With this concept, they got to be quick on the draw because apparently the guy that said fire Velveteen Dream, he's claimed on Twitter that he got banned straight away. So if that is the case, you're going to have multiple heads. You're going to have to employ so many people to be staring at 2 or 3 TVs each. And the minute they don't like something, you have to hit a button to ban them. Oof. It's going to be that's going to turn into an expensive gig. All them people you need to hire.
I'd expect that, as shrewd as a businessman, he's not a very good businessman, the XFL would.
XFL, baby!
But as shrewd as Vince Kennedy McMahon is, I would half expect that every monitor in that arena has a number.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's how Kevin Dunn does his job.
Number.
That's how Kevin Dunn does his job. 1, 2, 4, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, cut.
Listen, if anyone out there catches some gorgeous bird getting rattled by her fella over a washing machine, take a picture, take a screenshot, and send it to Maximum World Order. So SummerSlam.
Yes, pre-show.
First match. And I hate to say this, dude. I hate this fucking
pre-show, baby.
Pre-show. Do you know what? I didn't watch it, so I'm going to hand this over to you.
Well, mate.
Tell me.
Well, it's 2020's version of the Nation of Domination versus Ahmed Johnson. So you've got the Nation, otherwise known as the Hurt Business, which is a great name, by the way. And they're trying to recruit various of the African American wrestlers in the world of the WWE. Cedric Alexander being one of them, and another one being one Apollo Crews, Mr. fucking Smiler. Apollo Crews, and they've had a bit of a scuffle over the US title. At one stage, we had 2 US titles. We had the old version and the new version. I'm still not quite sure if I'm happy with the new version. It's just a bit big. And here we are tonight. He won't join the Hurt Business, so we're going to put a hurting on you. Apollo Crews, he defeats MVP in around 6 minutes 40. Lashley and Benjamin, they were banned from ringside. It was just a Raw match. It was literally a Raw match which is all what the pay-per-view pre-show matches are. It was 1 out of 5 stars, Dave Meltzer in the Tokyo Dome.
I'm a little bit annoyed about it, I've got to be honest, because I know I've watched a lot of MVP since he's come back at the Rumble. It was only supposed to be a one-off, and WWE were that satisfied with his Raw appearance after the Rumble that they offered him a deal. I mean, and rightfully so. I've said for years that MVP letting him go was such a big loss for me. The guy is gold on a microphone.
Oh, it was brilliant,
full of charisma. So I don't know whether this thing is for in working with talent or whether it's putting over talent. But for him to lose to Apollo Crews, it pisses me off. But in all honesty, it kind of makes me a bit upset as well, because I think Bobby Lashley's sitting there, Shelton Benjamin sitting there. And for me, I mean, MVP should be the guy, giving the orders, the general, the sergeant major, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He should be giving the orders, not taking the opportunities.
Well, he's the leader, isn't he? Where he should be. If you compare it to something like Evolution, right? Bobby Lashley should be Triple H. MVP should be Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And then Shelton's big Dave Bautista and Randy Orton all mixed into one. Mm-hmm. Shelton's the fucking man.
And I mean, that for me, that's how it should be. I mean, I won't going to watch this because I just don't agree with pre-shows. To me, if you're not good enough for the main cards, you're not good enough.
So it's all about plugging it, though, isn't it? It's all about giving the plug for the network. It's all about 60 minutes of free TV, and all we'll keep saying is free trial.
Yeah, good point. I've never looked at it like that. The new belt, you said you're not a fan.
No.
Bit big.
Yeah, I think it's just
I said
it's a
from day
bit
one
big.
when I seen that monstrosity, right? Why why would you why wouldn't you not just listen, right? AEW have created some pretty shitty looking belts. But that heavyweight title for me is beautiful.
I'll tell you what I personally think are the best belts in wrestling currently. The tag belts in Impact. They are a thing of beauty. They're so
Yeah, they are.
like
Yeah,
1950s,
yeah, yeah,
1960s
yeah.
looking,
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful looking
yeah.
belts. So
I
old,
mean, to
so
me,
old school.
I love belts like that.
I love
Yeah,
belts.
I love legitimate championship belts that scream, "I am the fucking man."
Definitely, but I
You
think
know?
with WWE though at the minute, and it has been for the past however many years since they started making all the belts look the same. It's all about, and it has been for a long time. It's all about selling them as toys, and that's why like the US belt has always had that kiddified look about it for a long time. And it's at least now they have gone a bit more. I still, it doesn't look like a belt to me though. It still just looks like a big fucking. I can't even describe like a big, dodgy shaped American flag diamond. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the current belt. Anyway, moving on. First match on the card then. It was Bayley defending the SmackDown's women's title against Asuka, who's pulling double duty tonight. Bayley gets the roll-up victory to retain in just over 11 minutes. Quite a fun match. I was hoping that Asuka would come into this and win them both, but then again you have to have the let one win. So because these two, as a whole, these two are a reason to watch SmackDown. I occasionally dabble into modern day SmackDown because it's alright. You can watch it on a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
Bayley
yeah.
and Banks.
I look at the whole WWE product as that now. I don't rush to watch it on the day.
Oh no!
But it's something to pick up. It's something to pick up when you've got a bit of a bellyache or you got the shits.
I just think it's nice.
It's just
Saturday morning.
That's it.
Saturday morning, cup of tea. You can run through 2 hours of SmackDown in roughly like 20 minutes or so. It's
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's alright.
I'm going 5 minutes.
So Bayley at the minute, she's your women's champion on SmackDown. Sasha Banks, a tag team partner and tag team champion. She's the women's champion on Raw. Asuka double duty because the women's evolution. So Bayley's the one that retained. So does that mean that Sasha's gonna again not be able to defend the fucking title?
Listen, this is the frustrating thing with the women's kind of division is we're back to that patch. Nobody gives a flying fuck. You know, it's become just irritating and stale.
Yeah,
it's got no life in it. Look, I mean, did you used to watch NXT when Asuka was the women's champion?
Oh yeah. Well, I say watch it. I watch the pay-per-views.
How much energy was in that woman?
Oh no, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I always think
it clearly shows that when you work for the big product, it is so demoralizing.
Oh, I think
there's not a single wrestler that's got a spring in his step.
I think as well, what's not helped the division is that there's been multiple chances to create the next star. One being like Shayna Baszler. Like look what they had with Becky Lynch. I know then she decided to go and get herself pregnant, which is fair fucks to her. It's her life. But they had so many opportunities to create another star, and then they spent so much time putting over Charlotte Flair. That didn't help. Even though Charlotte's class, you can't fault that. But they are trying to give her 30,000 title fucking reigns by the time she's 45. But they've wasted so many opportunities, and they keep kind of going back to the well with the same matches. And don't get me wrong, I think like I said, Bayley and Sasha Banks has been very good, very entertaining. But in a tag team division with about 3 tag teams, that's only going to go so far. So then you have to start them arguing amongst themselves. So the tag team titles that are now, there's not even a division. They purely are a part of just their storyline. There's no one coming out every week saying we want the tag belts, we want the tag belts. You've got the Iconics, you've got I don't fucking know. Oh, the Alexa Bliss and Nikki fucking Cross.
You've got them titles should be defended across 3 shows, and you should have people from NXT, You know what I mean? NXT UK, and they're just getting wasted.
So the match though itself, I quite enjoyed Sasha Banks outside the ring with her little facial expressions, because she is the one that's, the turn is going to be Sasha turning on Bayley in a positive way.
Oh.
Sasha's going to come across as the face through all this.
Sasha Banks for me. They're not going to turn Bayley face again.
No, not at all. No, she's having an incredible run as a heel.
Bayley's just found her feet.
Absolutely. But yeah, the roll-up finish.
And we used to scream for that, didn't we? Didn't we used to scream for that?
Bayley to be a bastard. Yeah, get rid of the hugging. Get rid of the hugging. Just be a twat. And she's a full-on bastard. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. She is.
And you hate her. And that's her doing her job.
Absolutely.
That's it. Mission completed.
Moving on then, we had the Street Profits, Angelo and Montez. They defeated Andrade and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag titles. Yeah, the tag team division in Raw is probably the worst it's ever been in the history of Monday Night Raw.
So fucking angry. Listen, right, when you come back, when you start getting excited about wrestling again, and you come back and
good luck with that.
I'm not saying I'm super wetting, you know what I mean, moist and all that shit. But when you sit down and you go, all right, Montez Ford, that guy can fly, dude.
Yeah, but that's all the match build up. All the match is building up to him hitting the frog splash. Because that's the only reason. Yeah. You've just said yourself, the first thing that made you think of Montez Ford is his frog splash. He's got fuck all else going for him. He's good on the mic. I think they're brilliant on the mic. Yeah, they're entertaining, but they're just a second-rate crime time. They're a PG crime time.
But what upset me, the title should have changed. You've got there a unit of whatever you want to call them, Los Angeles, fucking in the WWE, or the Latino World Order, or whatever you want to call it.
Them dirty Mexicans.
Absolutely amazing. Zelina Vega is a queen.
Well, that's
queen as a valet. Andrade is absolutely amazing. Angel Garza, dude. Angel Garza is a guy I should hate because he looks like a gigolo, but that guy has got a swagger. Like Uven Pereira. If that is it. You love WCW like I love WCW. So when I look at a Mexican wrestler, I go, who do I think he fucking, resembles? I mean, we obviously know that his father was in TNA,
Yeah, big Hector Garza.
As Hector Garza.
Yeah.
And he was a talented individual as well. But you look at these guys come from Mexico and they got a swagger about them.
He's a very talented guy. I think eventually he needs to break away. I think he's going to break away eventually, and he's going to be the star, and maybe him and Andrade have the biggest Mexican feud since Rey Mysterio versus Alberto Del Rio.
The one that should come out as the face.
Yeah,
not
definitely.
Andrade.
Definitely.
I think what you've got with Garza is a Rey Mysterio. I can definitely say that.
He's certainly got something.
Women melt, and if you can make women melt as a wrestler, you're gonna sell shirts by the bushel.
Keep it kayfabe. I thought the Zelina injury angle at the end, I thought it was a little bit pointless, but again, like I said, it was all building up for that. And it is a lovely frog splash with the rotation it does in midair. It's beautiful. But I kind of agree with you. I think because they've been having, I've caught up with a couple of Raws before to try and get myself a bit more in touch with what's going on, and they are featured a lot more than the Street Profits. And the Street Profits, from what I know, they've been doing these little skits with the Vikings for weeks and weeks and weeks, playing fucking basketball and doing all sorts of jazz. So yeah, they probably should. And Zelina Vega and the Mexicans, they've been featured quite heavily. So definitely, I think they've missed a trick there. I give it fucking 1 out of 5.
100% 1 out of 5.
Up next, in one of the most sort of weirder matches of the night because of what's gone on in real life. We had Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and a no disqualification loser leaves WWE match, originally to be a hair versus hair, but this was changed because of the real life happenings of some fucking loony bin. Look, right, people, everyone can love your wrestlers, no problem.
I don't know what's gone on here because,
Well,
like even I said, you know,
well,
what the fuck's going on here?
It seems basically, and I've read an article with the report as well that showed the CCTV footage from inside Sonya Deville's house. So basically, this guy's obsessed. His Twitter account, absolutely obsessed, mate. Every tweet is Sonya Deville. Every single one. His Instagram, every single post, Sonya Deville, Sonya Deville. And apparently that after she's then searched for his name through her Instagram, because if you think she's got like 1 million followers, she'll have multiple messages from obsessed fans every day. And then she's found this guy's messages, and oh man, he's been sending her some sick, twisted, horrible stuff for months and months and months and months. And then it's like suicide, I'm going to kill you if you don't love me, you're the only woman I've ever loved, rah, 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 rah. And then he's coming to her house with a knife, some fucking zip ties or whatever. He's gonna, and he said, he confessed straight up. He's that much of a fucking loony bin. Confessed straight up, and he was like, yeah, to police, he's like, yeah, I was going to fucking tie her hands up so she couldn't fight back. I was going to pepper spray her and all this jazz, and then she'd have to answer all my questions. So Sonya Deville obviously lost the match, so she can go and have a good fucking rest and take a bit of time off and try and. But apparently Mandy Rose was also in the house. She was stopping over. They were probably discussing this potential match. Do you know what I mean? Maybe putting a few ideas together, and then all of a sudden, absolutely fucked up.
You know that the wrestling business be very, very voyeurish.
Oh, very.
And I have a lot of these fucking fans, man. They're fucking Fruit Loops.
Absolutely.
That's a weird expression, but
they are.
Yeah, fucking Fruit
They are
Loops.
absolute fucking fucktards. I think the original concept of the hair versus hair would have been very interesting to see how they would have gone. I personally think Sonya would have been down to have a Molly Holly and go full bald. I feel like that's what the outcome was going to be. Because Mandy Rose always had...
Who was that girl that used to be in the straight edge?
Yeah, I know what you
society?
mean. Is it like Roxy Summit or other? Was it Rox?
Yeah.
Rox. I want to say like Rox LaRoe or Rox. Fuck knows. But I know exactly what you mean. Rox. Fuck. It's going to do my head in that now. But yeah, I thought she was going to go full. But yeah. And you could see though that it was having an effect on them in the match because they just both didn't really seem that motivated. The table spot.
I kind of get I thought the match was pretty good. I'm going to be honest. You know, I did think the match was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought the promo of Sonya Deville on the Monday Night Raw was fucking outstanding.
Oh, when she was in the suit.
Know? Oh my God. Do you know what I'm going to say? When she walked out in that attire, I thought, fuck me, girl. Put gold on you. You'll look even more.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what I thought. I felt for months, and as long as she's been on the main NXT or the main roster, I thought, fuck me, they've wasted a trick with you. You've just come out looking $1 million. You've cut a promo like that, and it's just as you're going off fucking to do whatever. Unfucking believable. They've given her free reins over her promo. You can tell that wasn't creative.
No, definitely. Definitely, because we might not see her for a while. She might not ever come back. You just don't know, do you?
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's why you sit here as wrestling fans and you're able to throw as many toys at the pram and go, Vincent Kennedy McMahon's out. Fucking wanker.
You'll never turn up at Vince's house with a knife. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's fucking mental.
It's just, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. I felt it was. Do you know what? I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Wow. I thought they could have done a bit more with the no DQ. We had Mandy bring the table out that were never used. We had a couple of chair shots towards the end. Yeah, I feel like someone could have gone through that table maybe, but yeah, as a swan song, like I said, it wasn't the greatest loser-leave WWE match.
And I give it a 3 out of 5. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 on women's standards.
I don't know. Everything's had a 1 so far, I think, so I best keep to it. 1
No,
out of 5.
I give it a 3 out of 5 on women's standards because it would take something bloody special to get over a 3 out of 5.
Definitely.
That was above freaking the Bellas matches, Alicia Fox matches, Dana Brooke matches. So she got a 3 out. They got a 3 out of 5.
But it was way above.
That was even above half of the fucking shit that's been with men. As of late.
So then, up next, Seth Rollins in a beautiful throwback to Rey Mysterio's Halloween Havoc gear, going up against making his WWE debut, the son of the late great Eddie Guerrero, Dominic Guerrero, with his adopted father, Rey Mysterio, in a street fight that went over 20 minutes. I was so surprised it went this long.
I've said it for ages, and I've read fucking dirt sheets and people saying that this guy he shouldn't be in a fucking storyline with Seth Rollins and all this, and he's just a cheap rip-off, and fuck off, man. This kid has not missed a trick since birth. He's grown
quick.
up in a wrestling. Anyone that can take, right, the punishment he took with that kendo stick weeks before.
Fucking ow.
That is in a nutshell. I'll tell you now, paying your dues.
Oh, for sure.
There is not a wrestler backstage that wouldn't have gone to him and gone, fuck me, kid.
That's how you earn the respect.
You know?
The thing is, though, when your father is Rey Mysterio, Rey Mysterio has been at the top of his game for the best part of 30 years or something. And he's, well, probably not 30 years, but probably best part of 20. So he'll know when the time is right to pull the trigger, especially when he's been training his son. And his son, like you said, he's like he hasn't missed a step. He's brilliant. All his moves is brilliant. He's got his own style, but he also incorporates his father's style. I think to use somebody like Seth Rollins, who is another guy at the top of his game, as your first opponent is brilliant because you've got someone that will kind of look after him in a way as well. I thought it was a fantastic match. Fantastic. Very strange, fucking weird storyline. The reason why we got here, with all the stuff with Ray losing an eye and all that jazz. Fucking hell. But you want Attitude Era? This is Attitude Era. Yeah. But I think the right man won, while Dominic came out looking amazing. It was his first time up. Just imagine how good he's going to be in 5 years' time.
That's exactly what I thought. I heard a lot of people saying that they'd be pretty pissed off. I'm not going to say where from, but I heard a lot of people saying that they'd be pissed off if Dominic doesn't get the W because it'd be pointless.
No.
And that I totally disagree with, because what they've done here is create a superstar from nothing.
Exactly.
Now, he's the build. I've not seen a wrestling build for a storyline in ages. In years, dude. Years. And what they've done here in WWE has taken a WWE superstar, punish him to death, and then his family member, lo and behold, his son, comes to the rescue. People are laughing and chuckling.
Giant.
You know, people going, is Eddie his real dad? You know,
I'm starting to think he's Big Show his fucking dad.
He is, and listen, I'm gonna go now, and I'm gonna say this kid's gonna be a champion.
Oh,
I don't
100%.
know what sort of champion, but he's got champion written all over him.
Oh, him and his dad will win tag belts. That'll happen.
You know.
They'll beat it off the Mexicans.
WrestleMania? Should we go for WrestleMania?
Yeah, I think the Mexicans will take it off the Street Profits, and then we'll have an all-Mexican tag team title match.
That lad's been brought up. He's been brought up on wrestling. There was never any doubt that lad was going to be a wrestler.
That was it.
Never any doubt. You know what I mean? With Uncle Eddie. And do you know what? It took me back because there was reference by Michael Cole when he said, "And Uncle Eddie would be looking down with pride." And do you know what? I just got goosebumps. I get goosebumps mentioning his name, dude.
And he's definitely correct. He'd definitely be looking down on him and definitely smiling because he's your pappy. Because he's your pappy, Dominic.
22 minutes, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's a long time. Long time.
We haven't even rated it.
Oh, three. I'm
giving this a 4, dude.
3.5. We'll go 3.5. Easily match of the night. For me, because it had the feud and the build, everything into it, match of the night. It was a great opening effort.
I enjoyed it because the reason I really, really enjoyed that match was because it ticked every box not every box, because that's why it's got a 4, but everything I liked about wrestling in terms of hardcore wrestling in the early 2000s to innovation to fucking storytelling. It was that, it was all that. You don't get that these days with fucking top tier talent, dude.
No, definitely.
You don't get it. You don't get that much effort, that much TV time anymore. So to get 22 minutes on your debut match with WWE,
that's it. He's going to be a star.
That's exactly what I give it.
He's going to be a star. Up next then, Asuka. She defeats Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. She gets the win by making Sasha tap with the Asuka lock in just over 11 minutes. So Asuka, combined matches, is getting about 20 minutes tonight as well. She's a workhorse.
But Sasha takes bumps. You
had the sunset flip powerbomb. You had the middle rope DDT from Asuka. To say that this match had no stipulations, it wasn't no DQ, nothing like that. It was easily the most brutal out of all the matches.
Yeah.
Because of the bumps that were taken.
Sasha does that well, I mean, I've heard a lot of people fucking jump on her and call her a botch artist. Listen, who ain't had their fair share of botches? John Cena used to be a fucking one of the worst ones for it.
Absolutely.
But I mean, what Sasha Banks has done since coming from NXT in that fucking match she had with Bayley and Charlotte Flair, and then, do you know what I mean? The woman takes the bumps. She ain't scared to go through a table. There are a few others that I would say they will go put their bodies to that. You know what I mean? No.
What do you make to the fact that Sasha Banks cannot ever retain a title? It's turning into like a running gag now.
I think that's the bit. It is. It's when you look, right, you know when you can kind of like go, oh, fucking hell, check her Wikipedia. It is so sad to see that Sasha Banks wins the title. And for some reason, she can't seem to go longer than fucking 6 months.
She wins the title, but then loses it straight up. It's like Vince enjoys the chase.
I reckon, right? I reckon if you worked it out, I think she's had 6, 7 reigns as champion. Charlotte Flair, obviously, we know, has had 13, 14. Fucking ridiculous.
13,000.
But, when you look at that and you go, possibly 6 or 7 freaking reigns as women's champion, I would go as far as saying her total span hasn't even gone past 12 months. If you added all them reigns up from winning it to losing it.
I know it's not even gone 6.
She's a 5-time women's champion, dude.
5.
So let's have a quick look now over the
combined reigns.
Win loss.
6 week.
Fucking shocking, man.
Some titles she's not even had 24 hours.
No, she hasn't. She did lose one, didn't she?
So I'm sure she had one where she beat Charlotte on pay-per-view and lost to Charlotte on Raw or vice versa.
5.5 months. Fuck me.
Oh dear fucking me.
That's an average. That is an average of 3. to 4 weeks.
And now we're here, well, Sasha,
That dude
reign
right,
number
is
6.
losing it, winning it on a pay-per-view and losing it on a Raw.
Yeah. Well. So then, Drew McIntyre, your WWE champion even, defending against Randy Orton, who was looking to tie with John Cena as world champion reigns. It doesn't get the job done though, as Drew McIntyre picks up the win with a backslide, showing that it can be out of nowhere. And it's like the tagline of the pay-per-view. You'll never know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to shock fuck out of you.
I think what it's done is Randy didn't. Well, what happened on Raw after it kind of said how Randy felt about getting rolled up. You know, I was sat there, and I got to be honest. You know when you get shock factor, and even I looked at it and went, "What the fuck was that?" You know what I mean?
Very dodgy way to win a match.
Why exactly was that? Why did he do that?
It's because it's out of nowhere.
You know, that's the ultimate insult to injury.
It's out of nowhere.
You know, Randy misses the RKO, so Drew goes for the Claymore, which leads to a
backslide.
Like, wow. Okay. That's how we're going to go. But I like the fact that it happened. I like it because what that does now is that gives us one more match, and that allows either Randy to take the title or Randy to take the title and then face Edge.
Yeah.
You know, that allows that. Or it still gives Randy the opportunity to face Edge.
What I'd like to happen would be for Randy to win, and then later down the line, maybe WrestleMania, when potentially we can have fans back, have Drew again win the title and actually have the fan appreciation and the applause and the celebration that he should have had originally when he won it at WrestleMania with no fucker there. I think that's what he deserves.
I think that's the same. Away from some people with the titles, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's the same with the Sasha Banks and Bayley turn. When it eventually happens, you've got to save it till there's fans there. Because the pop is when Sasha Banks' fans had enough of Bayley's shit, the pop's going to be fucking mental. But you've got to have fans there. But that could be a hell of a long time. So overall, then, what did you make to the main event, to Drew versus Randy? I thought it was a stellar match. I thought it was one of them, to begin with at the start, I thought it was a bit slow, a bit methodical, but then they kind of both turned it up a few notches and we had a big fucking mammoth. These are your main event motherfuckers.
I just like Randy, too. I mean, I like both of these guys. Drew has just turned into a specimen. When they say Scottish psychopath, if that man stood up in a pub when you raised your voice, you would shit your fucking pants.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing. It's amazing with Drew McIntyre. All he's had to do is grow his beard out and grow his chest hair out. That's all he's had to do, and he looks like a fucking monster.
That's it. I just think his. I've always said his work ethic was brilliant. From the moment he walked through the door, you know, the Future Shock DDT was an absolute work of art.
He just needed the look.
Movement.
He just needed the look.
It was too slim, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just needed the look.
Baby face. He looked like he couldn't grow a beard, stubble, or anything. But his work on a mic and the way he talked he was telling you he was coming for you. You know what I mean? And there's nothing better than an angry Scotsman.
Absolutely.
You know, angry Scotsman. When you get to the point where the Scotsman's talking to you and shouting at you and you're going, what the fuck's he saying?
That's when you know you're fucked.
That should fucking run. Should run. We got the last one, dude. The last one. The Fiend.
Oh,
Bray
yes.
Wyatt.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this match. I thought that was the main event.
he defeated Braun. I think it was the main event. I mean, no one gets a main event these days.
The world title
Fiend
should
Bray
be on
Wyatt
last.
Defeated, dude. The Universal Champion, Braun Strowman.
Exactly. To build towards the return of the big pooch himself with his new fucking teeth that makes him look like Rylan, Roman Reigns.
He's got his new t-shirt. He's basically screaming and he's fucking telling people, I made you. And he's going to break you.
And is he heel?
You know what?
Is he now a heel?
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Even I'm sitting there going, I really want to get over this. And I want to mark out because all the things I've screamed for the last 2 years. Am I going to be let down on Monday Night Raw when he goes, I'm back? And the fans go, boo. Does that mean he's a heel or does he still suck?
Yeah, so what do they do if he comes out and goes, I'm not a good guy, I'm not the guy, I'm just a bad guy. And then they all cheer.
Yeah, but then you're going to hear the fans go, bullshit, bullshit. Oh, it's just, no. The t-shirt screamed heel to me.
Yes, very, very.
You know?
So it reminded me of
screamed heel.
It reminded me of Austin's t-shirt. Because Austin had like a Arrive, Raise Hell and Leave t-shirt, didn't he? So it reminded me a bit of that vibe. And then you've got him coming out and going for the heel and going for the face in the match. Oh, we're trying to push him as the new Austin now, are we?
That's it. It was a weird one, wasn't it? Because Braun Strowman was definitely the heel inside that match, where the Fiend slowly, he's the Fiend has always since the birth of the Fiend for me has been a tweener.
Oh, very much so. He gets massive pops.
Massive tweener. Massive fans love Bray Wyatt. Puts the Fiend mask on and he's the business.
Absolutely.
He's that fucking horror character that you just Michael Myers. Compare him to Michael Myers.
Absolutely.
He's going to fucking kill an innocent person, but who gives a fuck?
And this it leads on to. So it leads on then at the end of this match to, which is random, that there is a pay-per-view this coming fucking Sunday, a week after, there's a pay-per-view payback. And we're going to get the triple threat of Roman, Bray and Braun. Are we putting the belt straight onto Roman? Big dog back.
Let's get Sister Abigail, who's got blonde, pink and blue hair. And she's going to walk out and she's going to look, you know what I mean, someone in the eye and Bray's just going to vanish. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I think is going to happen is Alexa Bliss and Bray. I can't see the title changing at Payback. They can't do that, dude. I'll be super pissed off.
That's why Vince does it.
That'll be 3 fucking times, dude. They've screwed Bray.
Vince loves doing
Bray
it.
will start to fall into that Sasha Banks category. Fuck, honestly. I mean, thinking about it now, I don't think Bray's has had a title over a month.
No, he's the same. I said he's the same.
He hasn't.
He's the same. He wins it and loses it quite quickly. Definitely.
Scandalous, man. Definitely. Scandalous. Especially for the Fiend.
No, absolutely.
Fucking the Fiend is just... Do you know what? Saying earlier on about, WWE Creative. I know it wasn't WWE Creative's idea. It was actually Bray Wyatt, and he was contacted from a guy in the UK who basically created that mask, and that mask was specifically created off I think it was one of the Joker masks, and it was replicated into how it looks now, and the rest of it was Bray's idea, so I mean, kudos to Bray and kudos for WWE and Vince going, yeah, let him do it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because to me, fucking amazing.
Oh,
the ambulance goes red, dude, and he walks out and he's.
And that was great.
That
was a great spot.
The the talent's reaction to it was a bit shit. You know what I mean? But I just think he's amazing. I think he's, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't agree anymore. He's one of them where we've now got a gimmick in an era that doesn't really have gimmicks anymore. Exactly. This gimmick is, if this gimmick would have been used like maybe 10, 15 years ago, he would have been multiple time world champion by now and been treated like the.
This is why we're doing this now. We're having this little bit of a conversation where we're pretty pissed off because you ask for something for all them years and then you get given it, and you get all these people marking out for it, going fucking yeah, fucking buy his merchandise, buy the puppets, buy they've got to put the replica funhouse. You know what I mean? Buy the funhouse, buy the deer mask. It's only $200.
Oof.
You know what I mean? And that's it. You know, you've got the crappy mask, which is like 40 odd quid, and then you've got the legit replica being
like $4,000
for like it's $250, I think it is.
Is it?
Which it still doesn't look exactly like that one.
Yeah.
But it's a better mask. I ain't paying no $250 for it. Fuck that.
No. Not at all.
You know,
not at all.
But yeah, I mean, it is. It's a case of getting pissed off when you've got something good.
Oh, absolutely.
And they just
absolutely.
neglect.
So that was then SummerSlam. In a nutshell, then, how many stars out of 5 are we giving the pay-per-view presentation as a whole? The first WWE pay-per-view in the Thunderdome.
I'm giving it a 3.
A 3, middle of the road. I'm giving it a 2.5.
I'm going to be generous. I am going to be generous because I know, you know, with WWE pay-per-views, you've got to take the good, fucking bad, and the ugly, and a lot of it is fucking bad and ugly.
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
Know? But for me, it was if we hadn't have had the pay-per-view, I wouldn't have got Dominic. We wouldn't have seen Dominic versus fucking Seth.
Absolutely. It's one of them. SummerSlam's always been one of them because like Mania has its Mania moments, but SummerSlam is also known for having its moments. And Dominic Mysterio making his pay-per-view debut could be remembered in 20 years' time as the start of something very, very special. Very, very special.
Exactly. Always known for SummerSlam's always known as well for 1 or 2 great matches.
Absolutely.
It always has been.
For sure.
Hogan's savage, dude.
Fucking Bret and Bulldog. Do you know what I mean? There's some iconic matches.
Yeah. AJ Styles, John Cena, and that pains me to even mention John Cena. But AJ Styles, Cena was amazing.
I go Angle, Eddie, 2004. Oh. There's been some great SummerSlam matches throughout the years. Great SummerSlam matches. Great certainly is.
Like you say, it struggled the last few years.
Well, modern day WWE is just a very weird time. So that was SummerSlam 2020 then. Up next from the NWO boys will be episode 2, where we'll be looking at the weekly pay-per-views. As up next it's Payback a week after SummerSlam. But Dave, if you can let everyone know if they would like to and where they can find us on social media.
You can get us at Maximum World Order, at Order Maximum on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook at Maximum World Order. It's we're not hard to find. The logo's beautiful, and it's interactive, people.
That is it.
It is. That's it. Debut episode.
That's it in the bag.
It's in. Ball in.
How are we going to say goodbye to the people? I'm just going to say, that's it. See you, bye.
That's it, people. You know what I mean? We don't need to say we love you. Because you know we do. Because we do this for each and every one of you. And why do we do this, people?
Because wrestling matters!